So yeah, this cursor drama has been the background noise of my past 2 weeks, not just a single price hike. We're talking about three different updates, each time with a slightly new twist. And by the time you think you get it, there's another clarification blog post. And honestly, if you spend any time hanging out in dev spaces online, Reddit, Discord, even Twitter, you know the temperature. People are stressed. Some are angry. Some are just tired. But I'm not here to dunk. I'm here because, as a solo dev building with AI every single day, this stuff hits different. It's not about features, it's about the workflow, the mental headspace, the sense that your tools have your back. Let's walk through what's actually changed, how it feels, and where I've landed, especially as someone on the Pro Plus plan living through this for real. Real quick, I'm Daniel, a solo iOS dev building apps with swiftui and tools like Cursor and Claude. I make videos about the indie dev journey, swiftui workflows, and using AI to move faster. So if that sounds like your thing, consider subscribing and joining the ride. Now, for this part, I'll throw the current cursor pricing page up on screen so you can see what I mean. This is how it looks today: a clean row of cards, free, pro at $20 a month, and ultra at $200 a month. That's it. And right away, something feels off. Where's Pro Plus? That's the plan I'm on, the $60 one. It's not here, not mentioned. Just completely absent from the main pricing page, which is weird, right? Because it's very much real. I'll show you the documentation that proves it exists in just a minute. The weirdest part is Cursor's own documentation clearly spells out the Pro Plus tier. It sits between Pro and Ultra. It even defines it as the plan for users coding with agents almost every workday. That's me. That's a ton of us. But standing here on the public pricing screen, it kind of feels like Cursor is quietly phasing it out, or maybe they're just trying not to overwhelm new users with too many choices. Either way, it's strange. Here, for people coding with agents almost every workday, that's not a niche use case in 2025. That's the norm for indie devs. So, yeah, even before we dig into the actual numbers, this is where the vibe shift starts. You go from, yeah, they've got my back, to wait, why is the plan I'm paying for not even visible here? That disconnect between what Cursor offers and what Cursor shows, it plants a little seed of doubt, and once you see it, it's hard to unsee. But what really gets me is the wording. The old Cursor was all about unlimited. Now, it's extended limits, unlimited tab completions, yes. But for agents, the language is soft. There's a underlying don't push too hard vibe. Honestly, if you're a dev in 2025, is there such a thing as casual agent usage? We're all using these models for everything: debugging, writing tests, scaffolding new screens. If you're paying for Pro Plus like me, you're not dipping in once or twice a week. You're in there all day, every day. So just having these tiers spelled out side by side makes you start to question, wait, am I actually the user they're building for? All right, so let's actually pull up the Cursor documentation now. You can see three tiers: Pro at $20, Pro Plus at $60, and Ultra at $200. So, yes, Pro Plus does exist. It's just not on the main marketing page, which is already kind of odd. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Cursor breaks it down by what they call expected usage within limits. Pro gives you about 225 Sonnet 4 requests per month. Pro Plus, the one I'm on, bumps that up to around 675. Ultra gives you a massive jump, 4,500 Sonnet requests, or even more if you're using Gemini or GPT 4.1. But here's the catch, and this is key. It's not just about the number. There's this fine print. Some models, like Opus 4, burn through credits faster. So even if you're on a higher plan, those requests can vanish real quick. I've literally seen my quota nosedive after a day of heavy prototyping with Opus, and it's not like they're hiding it. This info is right there. But the tone has changed. Before, it felt like, here's Cursor, go build. Now it's, here's your monthly meter, watch it. And that changes your mindset. You're not just coding anymore, you're budgeting. For indie devs like me, that shift is real. It's subtle, but it adds up. You start second guessing how many times you hit run agent. You start asking, is this request worth it? That's not a vibe I want when I'm in the flow. So, yeah, technically, the numbers are fine, but emotionally, it's a different experience entirely. So, what's it actually like? Here's the honest answer: I'm on Pro Plus. I don't think of myself as a power user. I'm just building, solo, indie, moving fast, coding at odd hours. And yet, I burn through credits way faster than I expected, especially if I spend a few days prototyping hard or if I'm running big agent prompts for refactoring or documentation. It's not just the cost, it's the psychology. Every time you get into a creative groove, there's this part of your brain doing mental math. Am I going to hit my cap this week? Should I switch to auto mode for this batch of changes? It feels like AI is becoming like less of a creative partner, more of a metered resource. And that's what bugs me. I'm not even a heavy Opus user, but even just sticking with Sonnet, I can see my headroom shrink when I go deep for a couple days. Cursor really wants you to use auto mode. That's the official escape hatch. You get unlimited agent requests again, but only if you don't care which model you get. And look, sometimes auto mode is fine. If you're doing quick iterations, you might not notice the difference. But other times, especially when you need that opus level reasoning, or you want consistency for a specific task, the lack of control is just frustrating. I'm always left wishing for a simple, let me pay for what I actually want model. Instead, it feels like Cursor is hurting everyone toward the cheapest possible experience for them, not for us. So, yeah, I use auto mode sometimes, but it never feels like a feature. It feels like a workaround. All right, now let's pull up the official Cursor blog post. This is the moment where things start to feel complicated. So, Michael, Cursor's CEO, kicks it off with a pretty direct tone. We didn't communicate clearly, and we take full responsibility. Solid start. And hey, they're offering usage refunds for folks hit with surprise overages between June 16th and July 4th. That's the right move. You can feel the intent to rebuild trust. They break down a timeline of updates, say they missed the mark, and promise to do better next time with advance notice and clearer docs. That's all good. Transparency matters. But as you scroll, the language starts to shift. There's a reframing going on. Cursor says the $20 Pro plan is for folks who mostly write code manually and only occasionally use agents. Then the $60 Pro Plus tier, that's me, is for those coding with agents almost every workday. Ultra is for majority agent usage. It's subtle, but it kind of redefines what heavy usage means. Like, am I now a power user just because I use agents every day? That used to feel normal. And then there's the bit about auto mode. They clarify that unlimited only applies if you're in auto, not when you're picking specific models like Opus. So when I was reading unlimited on the homepage and assuming that applied to everything, that was on me, apparently. To their credit, they're changing the docs and they're being way more upfront now. But still, the vibe has shifted. You can feel this tension in every paragraph. Cursor's trying to balance cost, complexity, and scale, while also figuring out who their core users even are. This post isn't just an apology, it's a window into a company in transition, one that's still figuring out what kind of dev it's really for. And if you're an indie builder like me, reading between the lines, that clarity or lack of it starts to really matter. The awkward part is that Cursor isn't bad. I still use it daily. The tab completions are great. The UX is slick. There are days I don't even notice the limits, and it just feels like old times. But then there are days where the usage meter haunts you, or you're nudged into auto mode and the agent answer just isn't what you hope for. And you realize this is the new normal for now. So I'm still here, still on Pro Plus, still building in Cursor, but I'm hedging. I'm also spending more and more time experimenting with other tools, looking for that same sense of creative flow, but without the friction. Let's flip over to Claude Max now. Claude's pricing is kind of the opposite of Cursor's right now. Clean, blunt, and surprisingly chill. There are two plans, Max 5X Pro for $100 per month and Max 20X Pro for $200 per month. Both give you access to Claude Code, and here's the big thing. It's not token counting, it's time-based. You get a 5-hour window, and during that window, you can send a ton of prompts. For example, with the $100 plan, you can send around 225 messages every 5 hours, or 50 to 200 Claude Code prompts. The $200 plan, it quadruples that. And the best part, you can you can choose your model, Sonnet, Opus. No surprises, no auto switching unless you want it. There's also a smart fallback built in. If you're hitting rate limits with Opus, it'll automatically drop you to Sonnet unless you override it with a command. So you're never cut off completely, but you still keep control. Honestly, this kind of pricing feels more aligned with how devs actually work. You sit down for a few focused hours, you build hard, you don't want to think about quota math mid session. Claude just says, here's the window, go crazy. For me, switching between Cursor and Claude is like flipping between a metered faucet and a wide open tap. You can be efficient on both, but only one of them really lets you forget the plumbing. It's not perfect. The 5-hour session thing can be a bit odd if your schedule is broken up, but the clarity is refreshing. I know what I'm getting. I know when it resets. I know what's included. And in a moment like this, when one of your tools starts to feel complicated and fuzzy, finding another that's just clear, that's worth a lot. So here's where I land. Cursor is still on my dock. I'm still on the $60 Pro Plus plan, but every week I'm testing more with Claude Max. I'm tracking my own usage, seeing where I hit friction, and just watching how Cursor responds to this whole drama. If Cursor goes back to being clear and really starts building for people who code solo and code hard, I'll be the first to sing their praises again. But if not, I'll quietly migrate more of my work over to whatever tool lets me stay in flow without the meter running in the back of my mind. This is what the indie dev life is about, picking tools that give you confidence, not anxiety. So, yeah, there was this sweet spot for Cursor, $20, and you're in 500 fast requests, unlimited slow ones. No need to think about it. For a while, it just worked. I'd code for hours, refactor, whole views, prototype ideas, and never once stopped to check a quota. I honestly got a little too used to that freedom. The trust was built in, you know? Cursor just became a natural part of my dev muscle memory. So yeah, if you've been watching this Cursor story unfold, you're definitely not alone. This is the tension a lot of us are feeling right now. Solo devs, indie hackers, AI builders, just trying to stay in flow and trust our tools. I'd love to hear where you're landing. Are you sticking with Cursor, testing Claude Max, watching from the sidelines? Drop a comment and let's swap notes. Seriously, I read everyone. If this kind of honest, behind the scenes indie dev content is your thing, updates, workflows, and the occasional pricing saga, hit that like button so more folks see it. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. I've got more coming on swiftui, AI tools, and the real ups and downs of building solo. Until next time. Keep crafting, stay curious, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.